Let's do it.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Math Rock review. Today we're going to be reviewing new Algernon Cadwallader album, Trying Not to Have a Thought. Fellas, how we feeling about this so far?
It's a doozy.
Classic.
It's instant classic. They're back in their highest caliber, in my opinion.
Definitely instant classic. Picks up right where they left off.
Yeah, you can't really call it a return to form because they never lost their form, but
True.
I guess after
It's true.
this long of a gap, you could call it that, kind of. You could probably stop watching the review now. That's everything we have to say.
All right.
That was it.
But that said, this is their third full-length release. It's the first one with Saddle Creek Records, and it was recorded at Headroom Studios in Philly, ran by Joe Reinhardt, the guitar player, and his partner Kyle Pulley. Pretty cool little studio. Tony, you were mentioning earlier that they've produced bands like Joyce Manor, Modern Baseball, which is some pretty cool pedigree. And it's their first release in 14 years, so we're officially old as shit.
Wow. Has it been 14 years?
14 years.
Since the
I remember
last
being in B-Man's garage and him coming up to me and saying, Algernon Cadwallader broke up. And I said, don't worry, man. They'll get back together in like 10 years. Took them 14, but,
So true.
now they're back together.
Yeah, so true. You called it.
I called it.
I wonder what the
How could you
betting odds
not?
were on how many years it would take for them to get back together.
I feel like
you
most
put-
bands, if they experience some level of success, will get back together at some point.
Especially in like this kind of particular subgenre of like Midwest emo,
Yes.
math rock crossover. American football did it, obviously, 10 years
Yes.
earlier, however long.
But
There's probably a couple bands who still are on the docket as well. I'm waiting for the Bulletproof Tiger.
That would be sick.
ooh,
It's time. It's
it'd be
time.
so good. Yeah, Totoro's coming back. Totoro's coming back. All of the bands need to make a comeback. With the original
They didn't break
lineup
up.
though, is crazy. Algernon
Yes.
is
I know.
TTNG didn't break up, but it's been about 10 years since they dropped an album. So
I know. What's up with that? What the fuck, dude?
I need some new tunes, some new tune.
Tunes, please. The world is ready for more math rock and Midwest emo.
I'm so
It's the
ready.
time. It's the time.
Well, that being said, I think we've set the stage properly. You guys want to jump in?
So down. Let's get into it. First song is Hawk, that lovely single.
Okay, so we, little side note, have attempted to review this single.
It may
a much
be
shit-
At least 3 times.
like
Three,
5
4,
times.
5
At least 3 times.
I think we've tried 5 times to do this.
And failed every single time.
And we tried to do a single review and get it out before the album is out. And here we are, reviewing the album, no single review. Failures.
Technical
But,
difficulties,
it is what it
scheduling
is.
errors. The universe just said no. Just wait for the whole thing. So
It's horrible.
I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as I love this song and it's growing on me, every time I hear it, part of me just gets a little fucking pissed off because I think of how many attempts we made.
I'm nervous. Are we gonna make it through the song?
We'll see.
what I mean?
We'll see you sports fans. I don't know. It'll be a close shave. if there'll be
Fourth
one.
quarter in the first quarter right now.
I think this song might be cursed.
This whole operation is running off of on its last limbs, so to speak. So
Where this goes. Where this
Running on
goes.
fumes 30
Yeah.
fucking seconds into the song.
But I could already just say what we've already said countless times before. This track gave me so much hope for what was to come with this album, and I was so glad that it delivered. And that's a little bit of a spoiler, but this just it harkens back to all of their fun time, older, more bouncier, poppier stuff, and I liked that it was cleaner. I liked that it wasn't like the screechy kind of Algernon, but that also came with some complaints as well, where it wasn't like truly authentic sounding like that was. But with the rest of this album, we get those moments, and it's so good in so many different, fulfilling ways, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're first song in, but we've all listened to it a bunch. It's a pretty balanced record. This track, I agree, kind of harkens to the more bouncy, fluid, kind of silly vibes of Algernon, but the lyrics are so like profound and are clearly he's dealing with like a loss or something, or some kind of person that's
so is that emo
life.
twinge.
I will say throughout this record, I was surprised at the lyrical content and how he touches on some heavy shit in this record, but he maintains that really, I don't know, fun and uplifted kind of delivery.
Yeah.
You know, everything's really high energy, and if you aren't paying attention to the words, overall the vibe of the music is pretty fun and happy. So I don't know, I thought it was really interesting kind of the direction they took lyrically.
Yeah.
Like that. It's not a synthesizer.
It's like an organ.
Organ. Yeah, I like that organ.
Yeah, me too.
We're in
a lot of fun textures in that
track
one.
2.
Shameless Faces.
Parentheses.
And the guy who made the thing was a piece of shit. Sorry to talk about that. That's just funny as shit.
I like the recording of that intro part because you can hear the strings being scraped.
Yeah, you can hear the room sound of the guitar.
Yes, I think that's really cool.
I never noticed that, actually. I like that a lot. Also, I just love the way this song comes in. Like, this is the Algernon I was really looking for. Like, I like Hawk a lot, but I want this high energy shit.
It was so smart. It was so good of them, smart, or however you want to put it, for them to put this as the second track. It's like, yes, there it is. That's the Algernon you're waiting for, you know?
Yeah, it's
and
the
he's
perfect,
screeching,
like,
and, you know, his voice is breaking, and, you know, it's like... It is exactly the answer to all the questions of, like, okay, is this going to be it? Is this not going to be it? It's like, oh, this is it, baby. And it's so much more.
Oh, we're so fucking back.
Oh, it's so back, yeah.
It kind of gives me a southern rock kind of vibe to it. It has like a classic rock vibe to it, which I also think is funny. That like main riff.
Yeah. Yeah, also.
And some of the like kind of bluesy chromatic stuff too.
Yeah, the chromatic walk-ups. Yeah, exactly.
I love, God, that's so good, the screeching. I love the first line of the song too. You can carve your name into a tree. That don't mean you own it.
Right.
That's such a good, I don't know, vibe check at the beginning of the song. Although this one, I guess we're talking about Native American plight and American imperialism.
Right. Yeah. It's
song
like,
one is like, okay, I'm
this
sad about my
land?
friend. Yeah, and then song two is like, this is stolen land and the whole system we live in is built on graveyards.
The sleeper cell is like activated a little bit. Yeah.
It's a very politically conscious album.
It really is.
Which I think works really well in some places, and I think there's one particular place where I don't. I'm like, this is bad. This is kind of bad.
Interesting.
I'm curious to see what moment you're talking about, because I enjoy all of it personally.
I'll bring it up because it just sounds so Forrest on this one particular song.
Okay.
Like,
okay. I like the energy of this track though. It's still bouncy, still upbeat, still kind of fun, and makes me feel like I'm on like a road trip or something.
Yeah.
There's definitely some angst there.
Absolutely. It gave a little bit of more of like that directionless vocal melody for me, where it's just kind of like repeating the same melody but saying like the new sentence, you know. It doesn't really have like a sing-songy vibe like the first one had. This it felt more akin to their older stuff.
Agreed. Yeah.
definitely.
So this is track 3, What's Mine.
I'm also not entirely sure that I necessarily like the order of the tracks.
Sure. Yeah, I can agree.
I think they're all good songs, but
I did like how 1 and 2 are placed, though, that being said.
1 and 2 are fine, I think. I don't know. I'll have more thoughts after we finish.
Yeah.
I really like that little guitar ostinato here in the beginning.
I like
It's good.
Love the drop.
that drop is
Had a little
great.
bit of a pretend.
The textures
the-
beforehand with the drums, like kind of sprinkling that. Yeah, agreed. I really like that.
Still has that bluesiness to it, I think, in the right guitar.
I will say I feel like the guitar playing on this record overall,
Yeah.
not to say they weren't creative previously, but like a little more creative in the way they weave some of the patterns together than on previous records,
And
which is
Definitely.
cool. It's really cool to see them mature.
yeah, exactly. It's like they've taken a lot of the math rock, like they've sampled the landscape, so to speak. They've taken like notes of what's happening in that sort of sonic palette, and they've taken those really interesting twinkly things that a lot of people are doing and ramping that up with the Algernon, like dirty kind of crunchy, doing whatever at the time kind of feeling. And it's only enhanced their songwriting and the harmonic play between the two. I think the guitars are so well done in this album, specifically.
Agreed. I also feel like Joe Reinhardt's time with Hop Along has influenced his writing style.
Yeah,
Like some of the, even in this song, some of the, like where he just is strumming a chord really, really fast, but it's kind of still like an ambient texture as opposed to like driving the song forward, you know? It's just another little drop from the palette, you know?
yeah, like Pretend would. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely one of the highlight songs on the album for me. I really like this song,
it's really good.
especially this part, these lyrics.
I
still know how to dance.
Don't know about its
Take it.
placement because it's like ultimately like an acoustic song, you know? So it being track 3, you know, it could have been
Sure.
after Procrastination or something else, but yeah.
Yeah, more in the middle,
Yeah.
maybe towards the end.
Yeah. Because it's like a nice, like, chill out, like this is a good vibe song.
It's the screech I wanted.
Yeah, there's definitely a bluesy vibe to this song. You're right. What's mine?
Right guitar, though. Right guitar mainly, yeah.
Love this part.
I can't let him know I'm not fine. I love that, how he repeats that.
Yeah, it's a great line, and I love the like kind of, is it a hacket basically, where it's like one and the other.
Right.
Or hocket, or whatever the fuck that's called.
And also the ostinato of what the guitars are doing, it's so pretty.
Some moments
Yeah.
on this record kind of feel like Algernon reminding everyone why they're so closely associated with the math rock scene, even though they're not like the mathiest band. They just throw like a little weird rhythm or long phrase and like,
They know
you
to do it
odd
so
time
well.
here and there. They do it so tastefully, dude.
This feels very much like fun era Algernon to me.
Yeah.
I could hear, I want to go to the beach coming right after this song.
Yeah. So well done.
That was a good song.
Even this like little outro with the warbled guitar, whatever the fuck's going on there.
I feel like we never would have gotten that, like, outside of this newer stuff. It's like an evolved sort of landscape that they're entering into now, and that's why maybe it's so political, and so many things have changed about the band. Like, it is an evolved sound, and ultimately, in my opinion, a better more cohesive sound. But, you know, maybe that's why there's all of this extra thing, all of these extra instruments, all of these extra details that they're now paying attention to. They're sort of sculpting this thing.
Yeah, I love to see them playing in a bigger sandbox, like feeling like they have more tools at their disposal than they did when they were, you know, probably in their 20s and stuff. Also, we're on track 4 now, Procrastination, but spelled backwards.
NoitanitsarcorP.
Well done, Farris.
English major.
You get 2 thumbs up.
How do we feel about the...
I love that.
I like it. I like when he does that weird voice crack thing.
Yeah.
I think this track is also a highlight.
Chorus.
This chorus.
Yeah, so good. It like brings me
I'm not
back.
a big fan of this chorus, but I like the rest of it. I think he could have said more here.
Right. Yeah, he could have. Yeah.
I feel like the only, it's not even a complaint, but thing that sometimes if I listen to too much Algernon consecutively, that kind of got to me was the lack of like drum variety sometimes. But I feel like the drummer on this record, it's like they gave him a little more room to do weird shit, you know? Like I don't feel like that's a groove we would have heard on a previous record. That little starty stoppy part there.
Mm-hmm.
We did say these are all the original members, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, it's been 15 years. Maybe he just got better at drums. You know?
I also think the production is a factor too. Like everything's so clear. The kick is like thumpy. Everything's present, and I think it just adds. It's like, oh man, this is what all of the other records could sound like. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the production value is significantly better.
It's really good on this.
But they still maintain the same sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't become so overproduced that it doesn't sound like that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not like over polished. It still has like a raw energy to it.
Right.
And it's still got like, I don't know, it doesn't have like that hyper sheen from like radio pop music or anything. It's still very much a rock band recording. But
Right.
the way you can hear the kick and the snare compared to previous records, the way the guitars like,
And
really
the vocals.
are
Yeah.
paired well, the vocals, yeah.
Yeah.
Like everything is produced better.
It's just a tighter, more focused production, in my opinion. And the elements they add to the intention, the overall emotion and the intention that like listening to the album creates for you. Because those extra things, those organs, those interesting soundscapes, the textures before the drops and things like that, like that's so it adds so much more of an impact now that it's like crystal clear, and like it just adds intention in my opinion.
100%. I feel like in the past, a lot of the production stuff, I mean, there were still some moments where they were trying things, you know, weird soundscapes and like instruments like kazoos and shit.
Yeah, but it's like a playful tone in like the previous ones. They're still doing the same kind of stuff, but it's like less serious, and this feels more so that.
Yeah, it feels like they really focused, like you said, on the production. It wasn't an afterthought where you're like, oh, what would be cool on this song? It's like, we thought about what would be cool.
It's produced well.
This song is produced well.
Now, can you say it?
Koyaanisqatsi.
There it is.
Which I don't know what that means. I'm gonna look that up. Koyaanisqatsi. There's a movie called that.
The lyrics are definitely interesting. How'd you say it?
Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi. Koyaanisqatsi.
82 non-narrative documentary film produced by Godfrey Reggio with music by PHILLIP. That's cool.
This almost doesn't sound like them. It's like so well done.
I like this line: vampires in fast cars, vampires in red cars.
Oof, a triangle.
I have to agree with you with the drum beat. Drum beats have been really good.
Absolutely.
Right, a lot less like 4 on the floor, which is still cool, but like,
Right.
okay, snare. I'm just holding the back beat.
Right.
It's like actually like putting a little sauce in there. What a weird line. Hooked on speed and blood.
Amen, brother.
That guitar tone is so good.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a explosions in the sky kind of vibe to it almost.
I can see that.
Sure. But it's capturing like a muted guitar in like a kind of like medium big size room kind of reverb. Such a cool effect there.
I really like how sometimes there's one guitar that's very metronomic and then the other guitar has this very loose structure to it. Kind of just like floats around on the side. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because he's so structured on one side, the other person gets to kind of meander a little bit and explore. I agree.
It sounds almost improvised, but I feel like it's not.
Yeah, it's like a solo,
it's
but in like a math rock kind of like, I'm just gonna do these like really cool atonal kind of like noodlings.
It actually kind of reminds me of the Rolling Stones, if you ever listen to their guitar parts. The lead guitar player is always just kind of like meandering around.
Interesting. So we've achieved the title track, Trying Not to Have a Thought, track 6.
I really like this song.
Yeah, this is another song where they reference themselves, which I love when they do that.
They do.
I feel like the only bands that like bands don't do that anymore. I feel like they used to do that a lot in the 70s and shit, you know, have like 3 records named after your band and shit.
Yeah.
Or talk about like rock and roll or being in a rock band.
Yeah.
Yes. Detroit Rock City, baby.
Right. That shit's so cheese, but when they do it, it's just funny.
It's sick, yeah.
The song's called Some Kind of Cadwallader, fuck you, I don't know. But the line here, there is no I in Algernon, and I'm trying not to have a goddamn thought. That's good.
There it is.
Also, gotta give props to the singer, bro. He found a really good balance with this record of like exploring a little bit higher range without shrieking and screaming and stuff. And
Yes.
his voice squeaking a bunch.
I think it's his best performance.
think so, too.
Fucking kill me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, agreed. He's in top form. It's like, I don't know.
It's so good.
I don't know how fucking so many rock singers through history who sing like super high or screechy, like lose their voice in like 5 years of touring.
Yeah.
And they've been playing in this band for 20 years. He's been screaming his fucking ass off, and he sounds the same.
Yeah,
he sounds
even better.
He took a 15-year break, so
Yeah, but
he probably wasn't doing as much heroin and drinking as much.
That's
as,
true.
You know, all the other guys were.
Algernon, if you want to come on the show and confirm whether or not you've been doing heroin during your 15-year hiatus,
let us know.
We'd love to know.
Or crack.
We do not condone illicit activities on this podcast.
Of course not.
Not condoning it. We're just curious if you're doing it.
Yeah, we're journalists. We do have to report the truth. So
it's one of the 4 pillars of journalistic integrity. You kind of have to do heroin to know.
I will say I don't like the end of this song.
Actually, I was gonna ask
I think it's kind of cringe.
if this was the part you were talking about.
This is not the peak of it for me.
It feels like
I
folk
definitely
punky.
don't like this part.
I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it's cool they do something
I'm not
different.
into that.
I might be misremembering this, but when I first listened to this recording, it sounded familiar, and I feel like when I saw them at Best Friends Forever Fest, that they might have played this song. I might just be imagining that, and it's like a red herring kind of memory or whatever. But
I think it's
that
just the
part, like,
word.
stuck out.
I think it's just the word status quo. That like it's just like, oh yeah, like it's just so generic.
I think it just went on too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's just a little bit shorter. I'm looking at the set list for that show, and I don't think they played it. Or maybe they did and the person didn't know what it was, obviously, and they just didn't add it.
Right.
It's totally possible. I just imagined that. But when I heard him say blood-sucking motherfuckers, I was like, that sounds so familiar.
Track 7, You've Always Been Here. I kind of like this one. This one gets in my head.
Feels like in this middle part of the record, like from Koyaanisqatsi through this song, it's a lot more chill vocal deliveries.
The guitars are doing like math poppy, like bouncy, fun like riffs.
Yeah, and this part's in like a big 10
Yeah.
whole section, which is nice. Feels like he has more to say lyrically on this record than anything else they've ever done.
I feel that way too.
Like in the past, it's always been nostalgic or songs about goofing off with your friends or like a song about prom, you know.
Right.
Like a lot of childhood themes and young adult themes. And this is all just like everything's fucked up.
Yeah.
And the government's fucked up.
It's a representation
Right.
of where we're at, like as a fucking country.
That's true.
It kind of reminds me of the way Parker wrote lyrics. Would be very, it's kind of long thoughts, sentences that weren't necessarily very musical
Yeah.
or, you know,
Yeah.
didn't have a rhyme scheme or anything like that. But the way he sings it sounds really good.
And
His phrasing's really good.
you do kind of see through that like performance a little bit, and you kind of just see how dry the lines are because of that sometimes, like in at the end of that one Trying Not to Have a Thought, at the end of that with like just the bare vocals, and it's like he is doing like something very melodic here, and it's repeating and it's catchy, but the bluntness of the phrases, you know, you kind of see through that as a listener, and that's why it kind of gets grating a little bit.
Right.
I could see that. The way that the lyrics read to me is like you're at a bar with your friend and he had too many beers and he's fucking angry and he like can't pick one thing to be angry about. just angry about everything.
I can see that.
Not to say that it's not eloquent or well written, just it has that kind of frustration to it.
Okay, I must say, this is the song. I think I hate this song.
Revelation
I kind of
420. Revelation 420 is track 8.
It just sounds so forced. It reminds me of actually. Do you remember that R. Kelly song? Real Talk. Reminds me of Real Talk, where he's just like, he's not trying to be musical at all. He's just saying things. Blah, 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 blah. The cadences and the rhythm of it is just not good at all. He's just, you know.
Girl, I'm not about to sit up here and argue with you about who's to blame or call no names. Real talk.
Real talk.
I see where you're coming from. I disagree. I see where you're coming from. I could agree that the melody feels a bit like an afterthought in the vocal delivery. It's more just about saying how I feel. But I think he accomplishes something that's like fun to listen to.
Yeah.
This reminds me of stand-up slam poetry, where you're sitting there, you're just like,
Yeah, and this is where the bluntness of those like vocal things that he throws out, those melodic phrases, get kind of grating when it's, you know, the same few notes over and over.
right.
I guess I could agree with you guys if I felt like that was the whole record, but
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
just here, to be honest. Where
No,
So-
just here.
yeah.
yeah, so what I mean to say is that like because of that, it feels like, because I feel like every song has an identity separate from one another, right? So like I don't feel like I'm getting the same shit the whole album. If the whole album sounded like this, I might be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But for one track, I kind of like it. It's like just a little different taste.
I will skip this song every single time. This is bad Rage Against the Machine.
I definitely see what you mean, Farris.
This
Because
is bad Rage Against the
it's
Machine.
it's literally just that like delivery of whatever he wants to say with just a note carried throughout.
There's no sense of
Yeah, there's really
gonna
no
be musical at all.
And then the drums are kind of just doing the 4 on the floor thing, the you know, it's like it's got this really old Algernon, you know, not really. It's not as it doesn't have as the intention that I was talking about, the delicate elements and all of these like interesting things happening. It's just blurting out what I guess Pete wants to say in this moment, which isn't bad, I mean, but
it's bad.
they're trying to make a statement, and you know the message is heard loud and clear, whether it's delivered sonically well or not.
I'm very surprised you guys feel that way about this track. I'm not gonna lie.
Just
I hate
about
that
this, yeah, I can hear
And
it.
that
What do you guys think
particular
of?
I can hear it.
What do you guys think of the lyrics themselves? Because I think they're good.
part? Post it on Instagram, dude.
Yeah, it looks
I
like a
don't need to hear
Facebook
you
comment.
sing about
Yeah.
Would you guys
Yeah.
feel differently? I have a question. Would you guys feel differently if he was just screaming? Like if he wasn't even trying to make a melody, if he was just screaming like it was
I feel like that's what he's doing. I feel like
No, because he's singing
the
a
melody
pitch.
here. It's the melody.
Well,
right
here
there.
he's screaming. But like, what if he just did that the whole song?
I feel like the melody of the whole song was.
It's like people only do things because they get paid.
We can't hear. Wait, Ferris, your mic is perfectly cutting out when you do that. I don't even know why.
It's probably too much for the. Probably too much. Thing.
I was just curious though, if you felt like if he just geared up the delivery all the way, he stopped trying to pick one note to singing the whole time, and then occasionally come up here and do something else.
I think I would still not like it because the instrumentation carries to that. The instrumentation is like not like all of the other songs.
I think the beginning of the song is cool. I could see like later in the song where it's 2 hands on cymbals and the kick at the same time.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That feels like that was the first song that they wrote. this record. The first song in 15 years, that was the one.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
definitely-
Like, hey, you guys want to get together and jam? And they're like, you have any lyrics? And he's like, I have this long, let's call it
Yeah.
poem.
Or it could be
Yeah,
like
I
the
could
very
just
last
yell it
song
at
that they're just like, yeah, maybe this too.
We need 11 songs.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of these songs are from prior to their breakup. I would imagine not, right? But I wonder if any of them are like old that got worked into. You guys remember that one? Fucking
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
it's
gotta
kinda like
be,
this.
Yeah.
there's gotta be
Stuff
if
that
they
do.
never did it together, they probably separately had, oh, I have this riff. And they
Right.
just sat on it for,
Yeah.
X amount of
Yeah.
years.
It's not right for any of my other projects. Just hold on.
Or they wrote it when they were in the band and they just were like, well, the band's done. So
Here, before we get to the next track, can we take a word from our sponsors? I got a pitch.
Sure.
in particular,
The USA.
it's a fucking garbage song.
Track $9 million.
This is one of my highlight tracks, personally.
That's a whole lot of money.
What is it good for? This one's in 5 too.
What's up?
This one's in 5, I think. Is the other
Oh.
Matthew track, odd time track.
Sure is.
I really like the vocal harmonies here.
I like the way he sings it.
Spend $1 million on rocks. I really like this track. The guitar riff is so fun. They managed to make 5 really bouncy and like loose.
Yeah. And the sample, like, that's interesting.
Yeah, what is that sample from?
I have no idea. So this is kind of weirdly, not weirdly, but somewhat politically charged. With the mention of like eliminating negative space and, you know, cracking heads and other rats and like that kind of terminology.
Yeah, sleeping under the freeway.
It's an anti-homeless
Talking
jam.
about the problems of the world, you know, and how those things can be solved easily with, you know, a little bit of charity.
I think it's super interesting how they got so much more political in like their old age,
Sure.
relatively speaking. I feel like you usually see that in bands when they're like teenagers and shit. And
Absolutely.
then they kind of move on to more personal matters, and they've done the opposite.
I feel like I became more political as I got older.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, caring a little bit more about like the country and what's going on.
I think you have a better idea of nuance as well. You know,
That's true. You're more educated.
when you're young, it's just good and bad, and they're kind of abstract. But as you get older, you're just like, man, there's so many things that are messed up about this.
Right. And speaking of, this song is about the 1985 move bombing in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, we should talk about that. About the track name.
Yeah, I have the wiki. I can just briefly read the first couple sentences. The 1985 move bombing, locally known by its dates May 13th, 1985, was the aerial bombing of a house and the destruction of 61 more houses by the subsequent fire in the Cobbs Creek neighborhood of Philadelphia, which is right next to where I live, by the Philadelphia Police Department by Philadelphia's own police department during an armed battle with MOVE, a black liberation organization. MOVE members shot at Philadelphia police who had come to evict them from their house they were using as their headquarters. Philadelphia police aviators then dropped 2 explosive devices from a Pennsylvania State Police helicopter onto the roof of the house, which was occupied at the time. For 90 minutes, the Philadelphia Police Department allowed the resulting fire to burn out of control, destroying 61 previously evacuated neighboring houses over 2 city blocks and leaving 250 people homeless. 6 adults and 5 children were killed in the attack. 2 occupants of the house, 1 adult and 1 child survived. A lawsuit in federal court found that the city used excessive force and violated constitutional protections against unreasonable search and seizure.
Heavy as fuck, man. And it's super cool that they are so specific. Like, this shit just reads like an essay. And in the booklet, the album booklet, it features a little picture of Mumia Abu-Jamal and says, free Mumia. And he's heavily associated with the MOVE situation. So really cool how politically aware they actually are. And how it's like hometown too. There's like a personal note to this because it's about Philly and they're from the area. That I think makes this song hit kind of hard.
And that last line right here, "This is America," it's like so poignant.
It really is.
I like that guitar riff.
I think in all the tones that Algernon conveys in this album, they did this one pretty correctly. And all of the lyrics and the instrumentation and how things ramp up with the lyrics and paying attention to how things are delivered. I think this song is very well-rounded, both politically in the message that it's trying to do and in like as a song.
Agreed. Yeah, they were really thoughtful about it. And I honestly feel like that should have been the end of the record.
Yeah. So this is the last song, World of Difference, complete tone shift.
I don't know. I kind of like the kind of, it's like a movie where something really crazy happens and then you have a final scene. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction, right? Where you have this whole crazy gunfight, all this stuff, and then they just walk out of the diner, you know.
Right.
Kind of sauntering.
Completely
you know?
fine, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, lyrically, it's still kind of political and negative too, though. So it's kind of weird.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
He's talking about singing ACAB and fucking talking about being homeless. So
Yes.
everything's a bitter pill on this record, like emotionally speaking.
It's in very colorful wrapping paper.
It's like,
The American football effect.
yeah, for real. It's like getting a birthday cake, and the birthday cake and frosting says like "you're a piece of shit" or something, you know.
Yes. Yes.
But it's fun and it's like a bright color and it's gonna taste good.
Yes.
But fuck you.
It's like getting a new iPhone and saying to yourself, how many kids died to make this?
Fuck, dude. And that's that. And that's how it ends. It ends on like a pretty like upbeat
Yeah,
note.
2 minutes.
Melodically.
That last song is 2 minutes 4 seconds. Crazy.
After a 5 song too.
Yeah.
Which is interesting choice. I kind of see what you mean. Who said that you didn't like the sequencing?
Farris.
Was that you, Farris? Yeah. I mean, I don't fully agree with you like as a whole, but I that last 2 track I feel like swap. I feel
Right,
like it
yeah.
should be a world of difference.
And like I said, I think I kind of liked the just small return to that, but I could also see how if that was the whole point, then maybe that song would be the last song. I just don't know.
Yeah,
if
because
the
it's
overarching point is this album's about the problems in America, or this album is about my problems with America.
I feel like it's a blend of the two, and I don't know. I just feel like because Attention Move is about their hometown and it's very specific, and it reaches like what feels like the emotional climax of the record, right? It's like the most dramatic portion.
yes. Yeah.
Like it just feels like a really good place to stop. That's it. That's the heaviest part of the statement. I can see why maybe lightening the mood at the end to make sure people leave feeling happy or whatever, but that's just my
For the last song to be also like politically charged and negative, in its like overall, reception, theme, it doesn't make sense to have that be the last one.
And I was thinking about this as we were just listening to this again. I feel like Hawk actually kind of feels out of place lyrically with the rest of this album.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree.
And I wonder if maybe an order that they could have gone with is Hawk is very much just personal song, and then they could have slowly expanded out more and more and more until you get to Attention Move, which is almost, it's personal in that it's their hometown, but it's really just about something else. Or even the opposite, started maybe not with Attention Move, but started out and finished in, I don't know.
Yeah, the placement of the songs gives it less of the overall feeling that the songs created, like that intentionality in the direction. Because of their placement, it feels more or less just tangents, like their other albums are.
Yes.
Well,
Still like it though.
Yeah. I feel I like the sequencing of it in general. I can agree that I think Hawk's kind of a weird opener, and I think the close. I'm kind of cool with like the portion.
From a sound point, Hawk is a really cool opener. Like I like it as an opener, but lyrically it just doesn't fit.
Well, yeah, it's like so personal.
Yeah.
Like I
Yes.
said, it's so just like this is what's going on in my life. I miss my friend, and then the rest of it is like.
If it was in the middle, it would
crooked
make
cops
sense
people.
as like this is just something I want to say about where I'm at right now.
Pause to reflect.
Yeah.
Kind of moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that said, before we do ratings, I really actually just the way we listened to this and your guys' reception of it was a little different than I expected, which is cool. What were your guys' top 2 tracks, and what's your least favorite track? Because I feel like we're gonna have different answers from one.
Farris, you can go first.
Well,
Let me think
easily
about
my least favorite track is Revolution 420. Favorite tracks.
I can agree with you on that one.
What's mine?
Least
I think
favorite 2 and top 2.
I want to hear your top 2. I only want to hear your least favorite.
Revelation
I think
420.
what's mine
I agree with
is
Farris.
definitely one of my top ones. I don't know. There's a couple I could pick for the second one. Someone else go, and I'll get my.
I think
you need a cliffhanger. We need to come back to you.
I think my 2 favorites are Hawk and What's Mine. Like they're just the most like fun sounding songs in my opinion. They're not like downers, If I had to pick a third, it would be $1 Million.
And then you agree with Farris for your least favorite being Revelation 420.
Yeah, I agree with Farris on the criticisms there. It feels like he's just blurting things out and it's not music. Like he does it in a way that he's always done it, but the sound cohesively just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. All right. So we already know that I disagree with you guys about that.
Yeah.
My least favorite track is World of Difference. And I think it's partly because of the sequencing. Like I remember the first time I listened to the record, I was like driving, and then that song ends, the last song.
Yeah.
And then it starts a different Algernon record, and I'm like, wait. And it took me a second to realize that the album was actually over.
Yeah.
And that I had started a new Algernon record. And so yeah, that one to me is like the least memorable. I don't think it's a bad song. It just like doesn't catch me musically that much. So we all agree on one of our favorite songs, though. All three of us
What's Mine?
have picked What's Mine.
Yeah.
I love What's Mine.
It's so
a great
good.
song.
Great song.
It's
And I think-
too good. Like the drop is just wow.
It's so good. And my other favorite is $1 Million.
Yeah, $1 Million
That song is so good.
is great.
It's so fun. I kind of feel like as I've listened to this record, Hawk has dropped pretty low in the stands for me personally, though. So that's where you and I for a lot.
Hawk?
I like it still, but it's like
Yeah, I
maybe
think
one of my least favorites.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I think Hawk does a lot of like things that Algernon normally doesn't do, and it was just really interesting to see them in that light. And like as it being their single, it was interesting to be led in that like different direction, only for them to come back to their roots and give us, you know, what we know and love from them from this album. So
I could see that. Yeah, I just I don't know. I thought that one would like grow on me more. I liked it from the get, but it actually, instead of growing on me, kind of started wear on, you know. I don't know. I like a couple other tracks more.
if I listen to this album more, I can see myself liking $1 Million more, you know, in time, because this song is just so fun.
I think my second song is You've Always Been Here.
Oh yeah, we didn't circle back yet. You've always been here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would go with those two.
Oh, interesting.
Actually,
Okay.
I like that one a lot. I totally.
Yeah, trying not to have a thought I love except for that ending, so I couldn't pick it. Otherwise, I really love that song.
Right. Yeah.
I really like, and I also really like the one that I can't pronounce, the
Koyaanisqatsi.
Koyaanisqatsi or whatever. That one's also really good.
It's a lot of good tracks in here. There's a lot of fucking meat and potatoes to eat through, man. Should we hit our ratings? Is it time to put numbers on this?
Oof.
do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep track of mine as we say them.
Shit. All right.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
As far as Math Index is concerned, I'd say this album gets a 5. Conservative 5. There's not much going on. There is like layers, polyrhythms, call and responses, cool noodles and stuff, but that's more in the improv vein of things and not really a calculated like math rock start and stop kind of vibe. Not a lot of math rock is actually played on this album, but still so much of it sounds like so much of what we've heard from math rock bands that it's hard for our brains to even detach the thought of this not being math rock. So you have to give it some credit there. Like they play into those tropes so perfectly, and the guitar writing is so good and so noodly and so interesting in this album at times. But yeah, there's not much going on. So 5 for me.
Okay, Tony's got a 5. I feel similarly in terms of all the itemized reasons for it not being a super high number, and I'm also not giving it a super high number, but I want to give it a 6 personally. I feel like yes and to everything you said. There's also a couple tracks that are like, you know, odd time signatures, you know, where they're in 5 and in 6 and then they're back in 5 and stuff like that. And there's some more starty stoppy rhythms than in previous Algernon releases, so I feel like part of it is not recency bias, but like, I don't know, just hearing them in context with themselves, which I know is a score, but that just pushes me a little further up. I feel like a 6 is a fair number.
I mean, I feel like this isn't fair because I don't really think it's mathy very much. It sounds like math rock, but there's very few moments I feel as though are actually mathy. My gut instinct is to say a 3.
Okay.
You know,
Damn.
it's not like a bad thing. It's just, it sounds very math rocky, but at the end of the
That's
day,
not what
it's
they're
not.
going for.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something different.
I see why you would limber. I think, I don't know, I think you got to give it a little more credit. I know, again, it not being super, it's not inherently a bad thing.
No, it's
But
not
there
a criticism.
It does have all the sonic qualities of like you guys said, of most math rock bands, and
I would agree.
there's some odd time
Well, then,
stuff
yeah.
happening. There's still
Then I'll
some
go back.
polyrhythms.
I'll go back to what you said one time, saying that Chon's not math rock, and Chon
That's true.
is more mathy than this.
Yeah.
It's fair. You got me there.
So, you know,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You gotta critique it where the critiquing is needed. So
Fair.
all right, so that would be the Math Index. If everybody's keeping score, we'll just add it up at the end. The next one, let's leave context for last because I think that kind of wraps it up. So our taste test, how did we like this album personally? For me, this is my favorite Algernon album in a while. I'm not sure, like I could say like it's probably my favorite sounding Algernon album for sure. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I have to go like, if it's not a 10, I have to go like 9.5. Like this delivered in so many good ways. And Algernon does have its misses for me. Like with the previous stuff, like I don't really like the screechy, like crazy stuff that's like more boisterous and rough, and you know that mixes like gritty. Like I don't really like that kind of stuff. I like the bangers, but yeah, this album delivered sonically so well. So it's like, oh man, 9.5, 10, any one of those. Let me I'll circle back.
Yeah,
let me
sit
think
on
about
that for a second. Marinate on it. Marinate.
Go ahead.
We're doing taste. We're doing taste
Yes.
test.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
now. I feel similarly. I think I really, independent of how I feel about it compared to other Algernon records or records in the genre, it's just so good, dude. It's a good listen. I've listened to the record like 10 fucking times already, and every time I listen to it, I just listen to the whole album through. And even though I have some feelings about the sequencing and stuff like that, the tracks are good, man. The meat and potatoes are there, and I feel fed. I listen to it now. It's really fun. It's very smart. Like the commentary, the political commentary, you know, no matter where you lie, is at least very focused. Track is very focused.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
kind of educational. I like that they're using their platform. You know, I love that as a band coming back 15-year hiatus, your first thing you do is just like get political as fuck for the first time. Like I think that's super cool. And you know, the production on the record really, so it's pleasurable to listen to, and it has your play value, partly just because so. Yeah, I'm giving it a 10. I'm gonna listen to this a lot.
Okay, Farris.
I am probably going to give it 6.5. It's a good record.
Damn.
Has some good songs. Has some good songs on it. I'm not a big fan of super political music, and most of it doesn't bother me. But like I said, Revelation 420 annoys the fuck out of me. I think it's an annoying fucking song. And that really just brings it down for me. There's some moments like on procrastination, the chorus. I'm like, you could have done something better here than just procrastination. You know, that sounds
But
sounds like something that was written for like a commercial. It's like, do you struggle with procrastination? You know, blah blah blah. It's like procrastination. Call 702 procrastination. Yeah. So, you know, there's those parts of it that I don't really like that much. I don't really like the ending of, you know, trying not to have a thought. I think it goes on a little too long, becomes a little bit more corny than impactful. Mm-hmm. But there are also some songs I really love. So yeah. I will probably listen to this album and probably just skip the songs I don't like.
Okay.
Do me a favor before we move on. Maybe, I'm just curious if you're down. Listen to the whole record at your own leisure, even the songs you don't like a few more times. Or can we just revisit your feel a month?
Yeah, I'll listen to it a few times this week. And
I'm curious if you feel any differently. I feel like you won't about specific points or tracks, but I'm just wondering if your opinion's gonna soften a little bit on the record as a whole.
Well, I did used to hate the song Southern Man by Neil Young. I thought it was an annoying song. And now I actually love that song. So maybe
we'll take the Neil Young route.
It just feels like what they did with this album like felt like they were turning off all of the hot water, turning on all of the cold water, or, you know, like doing one of those things where it's like, it's not just a little political, they're adding like this little thing. It's like entirely has that feel. And I wish they would have been more intentional with the track placements and those sort of things, like kind of dissuade me from giving it a 10. So I probably have to give it a 9.
Okay.
All right. Well, so the context, what do we feel?
You want to go first, Tom?
Sure. The context in the discography, I feel like it kind of sticks out in a good way and a bad way. One, in a good way because the production is so good, and in a bad way because it doesn't really have the same vibe as their other albums. It doesn't really cater to like the fun time that Algernon was previously known for being there for, you know. It kind of has this like real life grown up, like dealing with real life shit, trying to call attention, trying to activate, trying to like do this thing with this audience that like maybe doesn't want to have have this forced on them, or so it's like it kind of sticks out in that way. I'd say in as an album itself it's good, but in their catalog it's not as great of a thing to have in a mix with all of the other things. That being said, with the gap, it's noticeable. Like, things have changed, times have changed, like people grow up, people get mature. The instrumentation has obviously benefited from it. The vocals, like, obviously the delivery is amazing on almost everything that I've heard on this album, but it's a different direction and not a lot of people like that. So I have to give it like a 7.
Okay. I feel like that's an understandable position to land on. I feel differently. I think I like this record more than you guys. Have you guys seen like the reboot of King?
Yeah, I love it.
Me too.
I haven't.
People have been saying it's like one of the first successful like time skip kind of things that happen in animation.
Mm-hmm.
They like
that's
100% hit it.
And that's
100%.
how I feel about this record. I feel like 15 years have passed, and you can tell. I know that's not.
I also feel that way about this record. Like, they time skipped, and it was just like, wow. Like, way to capture an essence, in a bottle.
And you can tell they've been on a journey since, 14 years ago or whatever. And I feel like it's very refreshing. I feel like this is maybe not my favorite Algernon Cadwallader record right now, but I could see it becoming one as the nostalgia builds on it the way it has with the previous stuff. So I don't know. I'm excited that they chose French, but maintain so much core sound. And they kind of give you a little taste test of everything. So I'm giving it a 9 in terms of context. I'm very, very pleased, and I think it sits in the pan of their discography.
Nice.
For me, I don't know. I think probably a 7. Probably a 7 for their whole discography. I think Parrot Flies is still my favorite Algernon record. I like their more aggressive sound. This kind of reminds me of Some Kind of Cadwallader a lot, which is a good album, but it's not an album that I go back to a lot. I always go back to Parrot Flies. But I do think this is better than Fun, obviously, because Fun is just a very kind of juvenile, whatever. And I do think it's better than the EP by virtue of it just being more mature. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it as time goes on. I don't know to what degree I'll develop a nostalgia factor for it, because it just doesn't talk about things that I find particularly emotionally moving. You know what I mean? I think it's more it can be intellectually stimulating, and I do really like the way that the lyrics are written. I think they're well written, but it's not going to be like, I don't know, listening to Shirt or something.
Fucking Spit Fountain.
Yeah,
right.
Spit Fountain, Chewed Up and Spit Out or something like that. So I don't know, 7. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. I'm pleased with the fact that they didn't come out and lay an egg.
They definitely didn't lay an egg. I'm glad we can agree on that. I'm surprised at the varying opinions we have on this, because I feel like we all typically agree on bands like this, bands that we have history with, we feel similarly about. So it's interesting to see the variance.
I am interested to hear the personal grades. Like, if you add up your scores and divide it by 30, what that is. Because my personal one, I just added up mine. Mine was 0.7. Perfect C for me.
Let me do it real quick. Mine is 5.3. So 5 essentially.
I've got
Wait, what's your end score?
8.3 repeating.
Oh shoot. Okay, one second.
I divided by 3.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, we're supposed to do it by 30? Oh well, 3 and it'd be the same.
It would just
Because it's out of
Same.
10.
Yeah,
out
it'd
of
be
10.
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's accurate.
Okay.
I got an 8.3 repeat. So it feels
83%. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So 8.3 plus 7. What was yours?
5.3 repeating.
Cool. Yours was 8.3 repeating?
Mm-hmm. Feels like the main difference in our reception is that previously there was an appeal to pathos with band, right? It's a lot of like hanging out with friends, things going wrong with girl, which makes them super nostalgic. And this record is a lot more appeal to those, like, these are my value things I think are wrong with the world, with our country, with our culture.
Right.
So that's like, it sits differently with people, and I'm always down with an appeal to those with a band for some people.
Yeah, I think I just don't go to art for that. I really like when I want to engage with sort of philosophical things or social things, I just want to engage with it in a kind of, I'll listen to someone debate about something, or I'll read a newspaper article, or
you want
I'll read like a history
as
book
opposed to
I don't really
commentary.
I'm not really stimulated by, this painting was inspired by police brutality or something. I'm just, I'd rather just really analyze the problem for what it is and not recreate it artistically. You know what I mean? But that's just
fair.
me. I don't even write political songs. So
No, I think that's fair. I mean, art it serves so many functions,
Yeah.
intellectually, emotionally, whatever, ethically.
Yeah.
So that's valid. That's a totally fair thing to say. I feel differently, but I like to go to my art for commentary.
I think
Yeah.
it's important that people create art that's politically motivated. I don't think it's not something that it's not something I listen to either, like Farris. Like, it's not something I go to music for, but I do think it's really important that people do that. Because it's signs of the times. It's the signs of like culture shifting and changing, and there are things that we can point out, historians can point out, like that, these kinds of things that are like motivated by those kinds of
Yeah. And I mean, there are aspects of this that I do really connect with as well, such as the last song, which is just basically talking about, it kind of sucks to not have a lot of money. You know what I mean? I feel like every human being has sat there and been like, man, I wish I had more money, or I wish that, I had more social mobility, or, I don't agree with homelessness spikes. I think it's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, we could have used that money to do something more useful.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there are aspects of it, but then there's sometimes where the Philadelphia song, I'm just like, this is not how I want to receive that kind of information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather read about it in a history article or something.
Yeah, I think that song specifically was good in the context of the tracks on this album, but I can agree with how the delivery of like that information isn't, it's not really. I guess the thing it's doing well is sparking interest in other people knowing about it, but that's due to the cause that it's just being about. That's the subject. So
That's the only like counterpoint I was gonna make to anything you just said is like, how many people learned about this incident through this song already? And
Yeah, that's
obviously,
Sure. I
it's
mean, I
not
didn't know
like-
anything about it.
people nowadays
Right.
they forget, so it's good for that people remind.
But does that mean you have to like the song? Not. That's why
No.
art is what it is, objective in that way. So
It's Algernon, so I want to like all their songs, It's just like, I wish I could really like this song, but, and I wonder if I would have felt differently if I have no real emotional connection to Philadelphia besides the fact that I like Philadelphia. Maybe I would feel different if someone wrote a song about the Las Vegas shooting or something like that,
Maybe
right, something that's in your
'Cause I have-
hometown.
Because it's my hometown. I was living there, I remember where I was when it was happening. So I don't know.
I think that the song it was just such a good ender, and I'm just so sad they didn't end it with it. Like, the emotional.
I like the ending.
Yeah.
But I understand why people wouldn't.
So that's a final score of 6.8 from us. So that's a 7 from the Math Rock Review, rounded up.
Have we ever had anything lower than 7? I feel like we've never had something lower than 7.
To be fair,
like
we don't
6.8.
typically review things that are not inherently super. So,
Yeah, but I also feel like, have we reviewed anything where we were just like, man, I really don't like this?
I don't think we've spit out our food yet. No.
Yeah, we've got to churn through.
That might be the other thing.
We got to get through some.
We got a Farrakut. Carlos, pull up the Farrakut album.
We've done personal lists where we've ranked songs and given them orders, and we've shit on songs before, but it's not our. And in our album reviews, we tend to do things that are good.
Well, the sad thing about
I don't want to spend an hour and a half shitting on someone.
Yeah, true.
Like,
I mean, the good
generally
news about
speaking,
Farrakut is
it's
that they're pretty mathy, so their score would just even
it would
out.
even
on
out.
that.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but the math score would just bring it up.
Like, I
In the
can't
same
wait
way
to
with this
do.
Algernon.
I can't wait to do the Totoro album. That's gonna be fire.
Oh, the new Totoro album.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Have you heard new
Should be good.
music? That song. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also listened to their other bands that they did stuff. It was good. It was kind of
Yeah.
more like pop punky kind of.
Yeah.
But
I feel like
still,
Math
it
Rock
had
is
the
hitting a
same
stride.
energy.
We're kind of coming
Yeah.
back.
think we're in the
so
silver
fucking
age.
back.
I think we're in the
That's the
silver age
message.
of math rock.
Yeah, that's the message of today's episode is we are so fucking back. Got new Algernon, got Toro, sure a bunch of other new shit coming out. New King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're here for it, and that's what it is. So that's the episode, y'all. Like the video, comment the video, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, give us a 5-star review, hit us up on Instagram, comment,
Send the video to
do whatever.
Algernon.
Yeah, send us your band, send the video to your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, all those people. And yeah, we love you all. Catch you later on the Math Rock Review. There it is, boys.